This is Mike W. with World War II with Mike W., the history of the 95 Years' War. Just a quick reminder, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and also click on the notification bell. And please leave your comments below. This all helps me and the channel. Timestamps for each country will be in the comments section below. This is the second of two for 1935. This is being done to keep the videos a little shorter. In this video, I will cover the United States, China, Japan, Italy, and Spain in 1935. Now, the United States in 1935. Unemployment is still at 20%. At the time I'm making this video, the unemployment rate in the US is 3.6%, and people are still complaining. Imagine 20%. Things are still tough economically. Things get worse in the Midwest though. In 1935, the Dust Bowl begins. Bad land use policies or practices by farmers and an epic drought causes most of the topsoil to just blow away. Huge clouds of dirt just picked up and blown away, with nothing left to plant crops in. The areas affected included the areas of Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, and Kansas. In May, track and field athlete Jesse Owens equals or breaks 4 world records in 45 minutes at a Big Ten meet at Ferry Field in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Remembered as the greatest 45 minutes ever in sport. He will show those Aryans a thing or two next year in Berlin. In June, Congress accepts FDR's New Deal. In short, the New Deal was proposed by the Roosevelt administration and approved by Congress. A series of public works projects, financial reforms to prevent another depression, and government projects that put unemployed people to work doing things such as building roads and dams or paying artists for painting or taking pictures. November 14th, Franklin Delano Roosevelt proclaims the Philippine Islands a free commonwealth. And a day later, the Commonwealth of the Philippines is inaugurated. A commonwealth is an independent country or community, especially a democratic republic. Oh, and in 1935, Parker Brothers launches the game of Monopoly. Lastly, in the US, the first flight of the airplane, the Douglas DC-3 Dakota, or C-47 Skytrain, takes place. This aircraft will play a pivotal role in the fighting to come in a few years. China in 1935. There has been civil war in China since 1927 between the nationalists, led by Chiang Kai-Shek, and the communists. Communist forces had been surrounded in southeast of China. They were able to escape and march 6,000 miles to northwest of China. This became known as, very imaginatively, the Long March. On October 20th of 1935, those communist forces, under the leadership of Mao Zedong, ended their long march at Yan'an in Shaanxi, China. And pardon me for my inability to speak Chinese. This brings Mao Zedong to prominence as a communist leader. They had actually gone there after escaping the nationalists to fight the Japanese who were occupying Manchuria. When that happens, the fight with Japan, the nationalists and the communists actually work together for a bit, but with a wary eye on each other. There is good reason for that. In Japan, the Japanese military police launches a violent suppression of the religious sect Umoto. So what is that, you ask? This is being simplified to the extreme. But there was a movement in both the government and in the military called the Strike North Faction that was calling into question the godlike authority of Emperor Hirohito. The emperor, to maintain complete control of the nation and its army and navy so he could complete his plans to conquer China, he needed complete obedience. So this movement was eliminated. Big trouble in little Japanese China. The Battle of Kalkin Temple occurs in early 1935. This is a battle fought between Mongolian forces with Soviet advisors and Manchukuo forces with Japanese advisors on the disputed border between Manchuria and Manchukuo. There will be several other border skirmishes, but this one is significant due to the Japanese losing the base of operations in that area. In the south of China, negotiations with Chiang Kai-Shek had been going along as planned for the Japanese. They wanted all of North China to be basically signed over to them through negotiation. Kai-Shek disappointed Japan by not ceding control to them, but offering to work with them to unite all of Asia. All along, the Japanese are planning the invasion of China. Italy in 1935. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Italy had been wanting to invade the territory of Abyssinia, which is now Ethiopia in Africa, since they failed at it back in 1896. They had also felt left out. They had also felt left out when the German colonies were split up by the other victors of World War I, France and Britain. Germany was rearming and showing they wanted to have Austria join them as one country. Austria borders Italy. Italy's fascist leader Benito Mussolini needed to find something that would unite the Italian people behind him, plus gain access to raw materials available in Abyssinia. Another incident, and there are plenty in the 95 Years' War, occurred back in December of 34 at the Walwal Oasis on the border between Abyssinia and Italian Somaliland. This was between Italian troops and Abyssinian troops. This is used as an excuse to invade by Italy. League of Nations tried to broker a peace deal, but Mussolini wouldn't have it. He prepared the Italian army for invasion regardless. On October 2nd, the Italian army attacks Abyssinia with 100,000 troops. The armies of Abyssinia were totally outgunned with no tanks and only 12 airplanes. The Italian army was well armed, even with flamethrowers and poison gas. By October 6th, the Italian army occupies Adua, Abyssinia. And on October 10th, the League of Nations denounces the Italian invasion of Abyssinia and was powerless to do anything about it. Great Britain even allowed the Italian army to be resupplied through the Suez Canal, which they controlled. Another example of appeasement here. We don't want to disappoint the fascists. They might go to war with us. On December 30th, Italian bombers even destroy a Swedish Red Cross unit in Ethiopia in direct violation of the Geneva Convention. By the beginning of 1936, Ethiopia was occupied. Oh, and that Straza front I mentioned in the last video? Well, this action by Italy is why it dissolves. Finally, in Spain, things have been going badly for all sides of the political spectrum in Spain. If you remember, these are in the times they call the 2 black years. There is fear on all sides of the other taking power, strikes and repressions, and a lot of people dying. Quickly in review, the groups vying for either power or representation in government, all with their own demands for reform and financial remedies to their problems from the government. On one side, there are the Republicans, or loyalists. These include liberals, socialists, Trotskyites, Stalinists, and anarchists. What an amazing group of beliefs to have on one side of a fight, and they're supposed to work together. On the other side were the nationalists, a term coined by the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany, Joseph Goebbels, to make them sound legitimate. These include monarchists, fascists, the Phalange, and the CEDA, or in English, the Spanish Confederation of Autonomous Rights. They are a Catholic conservative force. These guys are the reason for the rebellion by the socialists and anarchists in Asturias on October 6th of last year, 1934. If you remember, after the socialists got done killing clergy and government officials, General Francisco Franco and the army crushed that rebellion. Together, they pretty much destroyed the capital of Asturias. On October 20th, 1935, there were 400,000 demonstrators against fascism in Madrid. That's a lot of people. There are general elections coming next year. Okay, 1936 looms. I'm going to have to break it up into chunks also. I'll do my best to keep it entertaining as well as informative. Thank you, everyone. I truly appreciate your time and interest. Please comment below, and we'll see you in 36.